How do you hold on to being dedicated to Salah? I find myself wanting to, but somehow, I can't. Can I keep that dedication and responsibility? How do you become patient? Any specific surahs that speak about patience? I talked about patience yesterday. Just become more grateful, you'll become patient. As far as becoming more dedicated to Salah, you can't just say I want to, because that's not enough. That doesn't mean you want to. You have to really, really want it. You have to really, I believe studying things like the importance of Salah gets somebody like in order. Maybe you haven't studied what makes it important. Maybe you haven't studied how Allah talks about Salat. Because if you just study how Allah talks about Salat, that's enough for somebody to say, you know what, I better take it seriously. You know, one of my favorite examples of the importance of Salat, I might as well share with you. It is stellar. Musa alayhi salam climbs up a mountain, is not expecting anything but a bunch of people around a fire that might give him some directions. And he ends up talking to who? He ends up talking to Allah. Can you imagine a man on top of a mountain, a historical event for humanity. A man on top of a mountain talking to Allah. And what's the first thing Allah says to him? Innani an Allah, after telling him to take his shoes off. Interestingly, right? Take his shoes off. فَخْلَعْ نَعْلِكَ إِنَّكَ بِالْوَادِ الْمُقَدَّسِ طُوًى إِنَّنِي أَنَا اللَّهُ لَا إِلَهَ إِلَّا أَنَا فَاعْبُدْنِي وَأَقِمِ الصَّلَاةَ لِذِكْرِي. I am Allah. No one is to be worshipped or obeyed in any way, shape, or form besides myself. So be my slave and establish prayer to remember me. Allah tells Musa alayhi salam when He speaks to him personally, أَقِمِ الصَّلَاةِ. And then He adds, not just أَقِمِ الصَّلَاةِ, He says, أَقِمِ الصَّلَاةَ لِي ذِكْرِي, so you can remember me. You tell me, if there's any human being on the face of this earth who will never forget Allah, I would say it's Musa alayhi salam. Why? Because he personally spoke to him. He personally spoke to him. If there's one human being that will not forget, it's Musa alayhi salam. I've talked about this before. You talk to somebody famous, do you ever forget? If you get a chance to speak, I got a chance to speak to a great scholar. I got to speak to Sheikh Akram Nadwi. I had the honor of being at his house. I can never forget. I remember every word he said. Every word he said. Because he's one of the great muhaddithun of the ummah today. He's a great alim. You know, I was so honored to be in his company. You know, he's written that 50-volume hadith book about all the female collectors of hadith in Islamic history, al-muhaddithat, 50 volumes. In English. Go figure. And all his other books are in Arabic. The man's no joke. And I'm sitting in his living room checking out his bookshelf. You know, waiting for him to bring biscuits and stuff in Oxford. It's awesome. Well, I can't forget. Now imagine Musa alayhi salam's talking to who? Allah He's never going to forget. You know when you bring up, you know who I talk to? What's he going to bring? You know who I've spoken to? You know? And Allah says, no, that's not really remembering me. Establish prayer so you can remember me. My God. That's salat. That's the ultimate dhikr, even for the man who spoke with Allah directly.